I got one what? I never took high school. I graduated with a Tell us the story.
All right, welcome,
It's called sarcasm.
welcome to camp.
Can't press again.
So we started this somewhere around 7, 8 years ago. It was a collaboration between student leadership and athletics. The idea was, after listening to all the stuff that went on in the lounge, I figured I wanted to get with the student athletes who were real leaders, bring them out here with our student leaders who were doing extraordinary things, and try to develop a relationship that would make things better. And I can honestly say that the years that we came out here with the athletics program were extraordinary. And the friendships that were developed in those early days have been maintained until now, and I get to watch them on Facebook and other social media. When athletics changed its director, they went in a different direction, and what we did was the members of the student leadership were serving in offices in student government, and they didn't want to miss out on having this retreat. So the original retreats were called HALO, Hostos Athletic Leaders Organization. SOAR was created in a collaboration of SGA and SLA, so we continue to make these ventures out here, continue to talk about leadership and team building and opportunities to grow and take advantage of learning from each other and actually stretch ourselves, go beyond our limits and see how far we could actually take them. Which doesn't mean jumping in water, it just means when you get up on the high road, actually seeing how far you can go, how much you can challenge yourself. And I'm proud to say that each year that we've done this, we've had extraordinary success. And there are some people who are here with you today who are here again. Well, you wouldn't come back for something that wasn't likable. You wouldn't even sign up for something that wasn't likable. So even on the list that we had of people who signed up, some of the alumni or some of the people who had done it before wanted to come again. And there's a reason for that. This can be a very powerful opportunity for you to have an experience that you can't get in the South Bronx or the Bronx or Manhattan or New York City or New York, the main part of where we live and we go to work and go to school and do all the stuff that we do on a regular basis. So I'm glad that you're here. I'm glad that you have this opportunity to share this time with me because this is if you know anything about me, you know that most of my time is consumed in a little office, answering a lot of questions, dealing with a lot of issues, and then we get to do some of the stuff that we do, like going out and volunteering and having the workshops and going out and doing other conferences. But this is supposed to be relaxing. This is an opportunity for me to take a big deep breath and realize that the world is a lot bigger than that little office that I see. And it allows me to look at you and see the extraordinary characters that you have and your ability to believe in yourselves to do things that you never thought you could do. So I hope that this weekend gives you that opportunity and that you take that opportunity to do that. Some people don't, and I don't have a problem with that. Some people want just to get out of the noise and the congestion and all the other stuff and just have a weekend in the woods, which is okay too. But if you really want to have the experience, I say push yourself and do as much as you can here and experience as much as you can. And then you have the stories to tell when you go back to your family, to your friends, to the people who signed up for this thing and couldn't make it or didn't want to make it or for whatever other reason made choices that didn't allow them to be here. And then welcome, Desmond. And you also have the one thing that's really most powerful about our organization, which maybe you don't know, and all of you are part of this organization, so that's a good thing, is that you're connected to all of the generations that came before you. Because for those 8 years, people just like yourselves came out here and pushed themselves and had the experience and brought back stories of what they did here and shared it with their friends and their families and the people who didn't come and didn't take the opportunity to take a chance to do. So do that and try to enjoy it. And try to turn off your cell phones, Abdul. or your cameras, or whatever other devices you have, right? It's an impossible thing to do in the real world, right? We're addicted to it. We turn them on in the morning when we first get up, and we look at them before we fall asleep. And I have a child who's not 2 years old, and that's when she starts to do that. And it's impossible to stop it, right? It just is what it is. But you're here. You hear birds. You can walk around, you can see stars. You went on the night walk, and some of you guys were saying, oh, we should have done this in the day so we could see all this. Why? How about the mystery of the night, and the mystery of the woods, and the mystery of being out in a place where there's not 100,000 people around you all the time, or cars, or sirens. I mean, we go every Friday, we have a workshop, and we can't make it through 2 hours without having sirens go by our window. And that's where we live. So you're not going to hear sirens. You have the opportunity to hear birds and crickets and see squirrels running around and just enjoy yourself, right? And just feel nature in its natural habitat. And I know some of you come from places where this is like familiar at home, right? But here we are for weekends to try to embrace that as well. Try to disconnect a little bit from back there. Back there will still be back there when we get back at 5 o'clock on Sunday. Believe me, it's not stopping. It will continue. It won't be a zombie apocalypse or a nuclear, well, I don't know. Well, let's hope. We can hope. Well, we recorded that, right? So I'm in trouble already. But try to stay out of it, leave it behind, and try to embrace each other and have an experience with the people who are around you. I can tell you from my own experience, because I know all of you, that there are some extraordinary people in this mix. And you have stories to tell, and you have experiences that are unique to yourself and that are very nice to share with other people who are like-minded and trying to do positive things with their lives as well. I know, for engineers, this is an amazing thing. From the first engineers, the cavemen, they could blow on fire and it would get bigger. That was the first engineering lesson in life. So try to disconnect from all that stuff back there, from your moms and your brothers and your sisters and your friends and your boyfriends and whatever else is back there, and try to sort of embrace this. And then the last thing I'll say is, so Jerry, the dean, myself, Dulce,
yeah, I'm here. I'm watching.
Have been here before with other students like yourself. We know the basic outline of the place, so if anything goes wrong, you can reach out to us. And Juana's here now for the first time, and we'll give her all of the information that she needs to make it possible for her to give you the information.
Clap in silent.
Take it back. So I'll let you talk because you probably have a couple of things to say, right?
Yeah, just a couple.
Okay.
Is the food here?
Yes, the food is here. And that is what I have the conversation about. So inside, we have pizza, we have some bottled soda, and we have a couple of salads. Inside, my other staff member, his name is Eric. Say hi to him when you see him. We have some stuff ready for you. When you're inside and you're having your meal, you can have your plate, you can have your cup. What we want you guys to do when you are done eating is if you go to the upper right corner of this room, there's going to be a place that's called Dish Room. It's going to have a big sign that says Dish Room on top of it. All we need you to do is to drop your stuff into the black bins. If you use any silverware for salads, right next to that location on your right is going to be a bunch of blue bins. In front of those blue bins is going to be a sign. There's going to be a knife sign, a fork sign, a spoon sign. You guys are engineers. I think you can figure out what you're supposed to do with those buckets. But absolutely everything else, if you have trash, throw it in the garbage and then leave the plate and or cup in the black bin. Tomorrow morning we will be cleaning it because our dishwasher is currently shut down for the night. So, yeah. Can I help you?
Volunteer to wash the dishes then?
No, thank you. Just note, there should be enough pizza for everybody, but please just be conscious and aware of everybody. Don't start off with 3 slices. That's not nice. That's not fair. We have 4 different kinds of styles. We have cheese, hoagie, Mediterranean, and buffalo chicken. If you have any complaints or critiques of the choices of pizza, I did not make it. That nice gentleman up there chose your pizza. So, you can direct all compliments and criticisms to him. And if you guys are ready, you may get up and start the meal.
Wait! Expect $5
So there's, as I mentioned on the bus as we started our trip, 10 o'clock quiet time.
Yes, there's a 10 o'clock quiet hour on camp.
Okay, so we don't mind you hanging around and walking around things, but you have to maintain, you know, the screaming that you did on the walk. You got to keep it down because the noise carries. Even just the sound of your voice talking will carry, and you'll hear it out there.
I will say, while you're inside of the lodges, you should be fine as long as you guys aren't like full on, like top of your lungs screaming. But he's correct. When you are outside, there are other staff members that do live on camp, and it's when there is nothing happening here, just someone talking on the path is loud enough to enter our houses. So we please just ask that if you are going to leave your cabin at night, just please be respectful. That's all we ask.
And then for us, the curfew is midnight. So men in their cabin at midnight, women at the cabin at midnight. Don't come to me at 12:10 and say I have to walk the girls back to their cabin. I will tell the girls that they're out of luck and they need to walk back to their cabin on their own. All right, we don't do that. And I've had enough experiences with that. I'm not interested in that.
And one last thing, while you guys halfway through you guys having your meal, I'm gonna actually leave.